Short answer, your earnings are unlimited. Long answer, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to break down realistically what you're going to be able to make as a professional Forex trader. And then I'm going to show you my equity curve and what I'm actually making. So watch till the end so that you can figure out exactly how much I'm earning. What's up, traders? My name's Hunter and this is Hunter FX, and if you are new here, I'm a professional Forex trader who's got nothing better to do with his time than share his secrets to randoms on YouTube with my 200 subscriber follower. Thank you very much. So today we're going to jump into what you can be earning and what is the minimum that you will be earning and what is supposedly the maximum that you will be earning as a professional Forex trader. I'm going to dive into a couple different options that you have. You don't actually need that much capital, believe it or not. I'm going to give you a little secret here. So please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and then we can continue. So first of all, let's talk about the actual minimum that you need. And we're going to be looking at people who are living solely off of Forex trading. You don't have any part-time jobs. So let's assume that you want to live somewhat comfortably and you want to be making about 3K per month. I think that's probably what most people would want to live a normal lifestyle. 3K per month plus an extra 1K that they can dump back into their investments so that they can grow their account slowly over time. Now, we can assume that any given month, a profitable trader is going to make somewhere between 5 and 40%. Whoa. You might be thinking that sometimes profitable traders, they actually lose money in some months. And I'm going to come out and say it right now that I think if you are actually a profitable trader and you have a profitable system, you will not have any negative months. I will think that a minimum of 5% per month if you're actually got a system that does work. This means you're making at least 30 to 50 trades a month. You're going to obviously be able to average over a month that 5%. If you're doing something like swing trading and you're only taking something like 4 trades per month, I can understand, yes, you could have a negative month. You're going to have overall a larger year, but we're talking about day trading. We're talking about earning money day-to-day basis. So by this means, I'm going to say that no profitable trader would ever have a negative month. And if you do, you're not actually a profitable trader. So there's 2 ways we can look at this, and we can look at the absolute minimum. You want 4K every single month, no matter what, to make that 5%. So if you do have a bad month and you have that 5%, which I think most day traders are going to be making more than 5%, but let's just say that's a bad month and you 5%, and you need a minimum of 4K, that means you're going to need 80K capital. Now that's quite a bit. The other way we can look at it is we can say, okay, average. So the trader in question is actually good with their money and they don't live paycheck to paycheck, which I assume most traders are going to be. Since they are trading, they must be good with their money. So we can say that we're going to actually do this in an average. So we want to make sure that we're doing about 10% per month on average over a course of 3 or 4 months, something like this, right? So that means we're going to need 40K. Now that's really not that much. You can build up 40K in a couple years just in savings if you're good with your money. You can also grow that from a smaller amount, but I'm going to give you an actually even better way that you don't even need to save. And the second you are profitable, the second you have determined that you are a consistent trader, boom, you can be trading full time. So this first option I gave you is you have to have 40, 50K, something like that, just to live a normal life. Not very flashy, right? So the second option, how about we soup that up for you? We do something called a funded trader challenge, and there's lots of these. There's FTMO, there's 5%ers, there's Top Step. I think Top Step's kind of a scammy thing though, where they mislead you and they don't actually give you as much money as you think they would. But there's a bunch of them, And I'll actually do a challenge for you guys, and I'll show you how easy it actually is for a profitable trader to complete this challenge. So let's look at FTMO, for example. FTMO Funded Trader Challenge, they give you 30%, they give you 70% of the profit. They take 30% to themselves. And all you have to do is it's about a month long, 2 months long, and you just have to prove that you can make 10% in a month without risking too much while following the rules. It's a very simple process, and then you do it again for the second month, but it's a little bit easier the second month. They just want to make sure that you're actually safe. And then they're going to give you 100K, and then you trade with that, and then you keep 70% of the profit. Pretty sweet deal. Let's look into how much you're going to make doing that. So again, using the same number, 10% a month, that a profitable trader is going to be making on average. And actually, there's one thing that can really boost what the profitable trader is making on average, and that thing is hitting that like button. Go ahead and do that now. It's going to increase your profit, I guarantee it. But anyways, let's say you make that 10% per month, and that's going to be 10K profit on that 100K account. You're going to be able to take home 7K per month. Now that sounds much better. I think you can live a fantastic life just on 7K per month. But let's go ahead and say that you only need to live off of that 3K. Now you have 4K to invest back into your personal trading account, and then you can use this to grow, and you're going to be keeping 100% of the profit that time. Quickly break down the math there for you. 4K per month invested into your trading account, you're going to have about 50K after a year. So now with that 50K account, you're going to be making an extra 10% on that. That's a 5K extra profit after just only 1 year. And that's all going all straight to you. So now in reality, you're making 12K per month. And you can extrapolate this even further. You can look at it into 4 years down the line, things like this. Figure it out on your own. But as you can see, the lifestyle starts out pretty normal as a Forex trader, but it just continues to snowball and gets bigger and bigger each and every year. And you could be starting with only living off of 3K, but after a year you could be living off of 12K, or a year after that you could be living off of whatever it is. I'm not going to go ahead and do the math right now. I'm sure you guys are smart enough to figure it out on your own. Right, having some tea before we jump into my equity curve. Right, so guys, hopefully you can see this. I've done just a couple different equity curves here with some of the data I've collected from my strategies. So the first one we're going to look at, we have a less than 50% win rate. So right here we have a 48% win rate, and on average our wins are getting us 2.5 times what we're risking. So we're selling at, our wins are selling at 2.5 times what our losses are losing, if that makes sense. So how this is laid out is basically we start out with just 10K, and I'm doing this over 50 trades per month. So each line represents 1 month, and this is 48 lines, so that's equivalent to 4 years of trading, 50 times per month, and we're risking 1% per trade, 1% of our capital. So with this we're risking $100 per trade. And as you can see, the average at the end of the month for this strategy is about 33%. With, if you want to see our maximum drawdown, our absolute maximum drawdown is less than 15%, which is pretty good. It's not actually ideal. We do, in order to pass those funded trader challenges, you do need to make sure that you keep your drawdown less than 10%. So it would actually make more sense to lower your risk on this, and then lower your actual profit. So you would actually win on both ends with that funded trader challenge there. Right, so there's a couple other stats you can look at here. This is the same strategy, but it's over the course of 4 years just flat. So 1,600 iterations, that's 48 times 50. So this is what you would gain after just 4 years of trading, right? So you would start with 10K, and you would 12x your money over 4 years of trading, right? Cool, and that's without adding any extra capital. So the second one I just want to look at is another strategy. It's a little bit higher percentage win, but we don't win as much. It's just a different variation of something that I'm running. And basically the same idea, 50 iterations, 4 years, 1% risk, and we see less than 60%, so 57% win rate, and just about two times what we win versus what we lose, and our drawdown's actually much lower. So this is the safer option, and we're getting about the same profit. So 34% per month, risking 1% per trade, right? So if you wanted to project what I was making, if I had 10K, this is what I'm making per month. I mean, it's right there open for you guys to see. This is the strategy that I run. This is my win rate. This is how much I win each time, and I risk approximately 1%. So I'm not going to tell you exactly how much capital I'm trading with, but you can roughly guess. And over here, same idea. Over the course of 4 years, it's a little bit slower. Same 7% drawdown, much safer. You're gonna 11x your money over 4 years. So it's quite unbelievable. Actually, the power of just a small edge. You wouldn't think 57% would produce this kind of money, but it's absolutely unbelievable. And anybody who wants to actually risk even more, I recommend risking actually 2% until you get up and over the 10K mark. Once you're trading over 10K, I would suggest start risking 1%, and once you're over maybe 50K, start risking 0.5%, something like that, right? Just because you really don't need to grow as fast, and once you get higher capital, you really need to make sure that your funds are safe. You don't want to lose any funds because you could go on a losing streak, and losing those amount of funds is absolutely detrimental. And once you get to like that 50K mark, you're not really going to make back that money just from a day job, right? So you need to be much safer. With 10K, you can easily make back 10K from a day job in under a year, right? Depending on what your job is. Right, guys, I hope you liked that content. I hope that inspired you. I know it's not really something that you can just take and you can throw into the market and start making money with, but hopefully it was inspirational, so that you guys do want to continue on this. I know it's such a hard struggle, and it could take you years, but just think that if it takes you 2 years of struggling, after just another 4 years, you can flip 10K into over 100K, and this isn't anything special. This strategy, it's a pretty common number, I think. There's people who obviously trade much better than I do. This is just what I'm making. If I'm trading properly, mind you, I do have drawdowns, so I will tell you that this isn't obviously accurate, because sometimes I do struggle mentally, and that just causes some drawdown. But if I'm trading absolutely perfectly, this is my win rate. Until next time, guys, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the bell notification, and you guys can tune in and join the Chad gang.